Hello student of class 12th, once again we are here with a new video, and this video is based on the new chapter we are going to start in this video, and the chapter name is atomic nucleus or nuclei. This is chapter number 13 of the second book. Before this chapter, in the previous videos we had learned about the chapter atom, and we discussed about Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, distance of closest approach or nucleus size, impact parameter, composition of nucleus we are going to learn in this chapter. So before starting the chapter nucleus, we will just revise the experiment, the closest approach, about impact parameter, and what is the composition of nucleus, what is atomic number, mass number and atomic mass unit. We will learn in this video, and the radius of nucleus and nuclear density, mass energy relation and mass defect, binding energy and binding energy per nucleon, binding energy curve, nuclear force and meson theory is also the part of this chapter. Let us start the revision of the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. If you remember, this we had done in the chapter atom. If you see in the diagram, this is a chamber in which radon or bismuth 214 is used as a source of alpha particle, and the beam which is falling on the thin gold foil, the zinc sulfide screen is there, is tracking on the screen. In the second figure, you are seeing that alpha beam when fall on the gold foil. So many observations are there. Some rays deflected, some rays pass from the gold foil, and very few retrace its path. And this is also the curve between the number of alpha particles scattered, that is capital N, and a scattering angle theta. All these things you had learned in the previous chapter. And alpha particle is a nucleus of helium atom carrying a charge of plus 2e and mass equal to 4 times that of hydrogen atom. It travels with a speed nearly 10 to the power 4 meter per second and is highly penetrating. So this experiment was performed by Rutherford and also Greger and Marson. Source of alpha particle chosen by Rutherford is radon, and by Greger is bismuth. Speed of alpha particle 10 to the power 4 meter per second, and in the experiment Greger and Marson it was 1.6 10 to the power 7 meter per second. Thickness of the gold foil, Rutherford taken 10 to the power minus 6 meter, and Greger and Marson in experiment it was 2.1 into 10 to the power 7 minus 7 meter. This is the values of the experiment what done by Rutherford and the Greger and Marson. So this is a important point for the competition also, that what the source of alpha particle in the case of the Rutherford experiment, it was a radon, and like this you can learn. Now what are the observation and conclusion we had also discussed in the previous chapter. So once we are going to revise this again. Observation first, most of the alpha particle pass straight through the gold foil, and the conclusion of this observation is it indicates that most of the space in an atom is empty. Observation number 2, some of the alpha particles were scattered by only small angles of the order of a few degree. What is the conclusion of this? The conclusion is alpha particle, being positively charged and heavy compared to electron, could only be deflected by heavy and positive region in an atom. It indicates that the positive charges and the most of the mass of the atom are concentrated at the center, and that is called nucleus. The third observation is a few alpha particles, 1 in 9,000, were deflected through large angles even greater than 90 degree. Some of them even retraced their path, that is angle of deflection was 180 degree. So what is the conclusion of this observation? The conclusion is alpha particle which travel towards the nucleus directly get retarded due to Coulomb's force of repulsion, and ultimately come to rest and then fly off in the opposite direction. So these are the observation and conclusion we had discussed in the previous videos and the chapter atom. I'm just revising you, I'm just giving you the feel of that chapter, because the nucleus is also some connection with the experiment done by Rutherford and so many scientists. That's why I am discussing it here. Now, what is the distance of closest approach? It was also discussed. If you see in the diagram, when the distance between alpha particle and the nucleus is equal to the distance of the closest approach, and the distance of closest approach is denoted by r naught, the alpha particle comes to rest. At this point or distance, what happens? The kinetic energy of alpha particle is completely converted into electric potential energy of the system. So by applying the energy conservation law, we are going to find what is the closest approach. So 1 upon 2 mv square is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2 z square upon r naught. This is the kinetic energy equal to the potential energy at distance of r naught. At the distance of r naught, there is a system of alpha particle and nucleus. So the charge on the alpha particle is 2e and the charge on nucleus is ze. So you can find the value of r naught. R naught is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2 z square upon 1 upon 2 m u square. So this is the closest approach. It was also discussed in the previous videos, previous chapter. I think everyone is now aware about this. Everyone knows that what is closest approach. Next is impact parameter. This was also the part of chapter atom. Impact parameter is denoted by capital. Impact parameter is denoted by letter small b. If you see the diagram, b is indicated here, the perpendicular distance from the center of the nucleus of the alpha particle. So what is impact parameter? The perpendicular distance of the velocity vector of the alpha particle from the center of the nucleus when it is far away from the nucleus is known as impact parameter. What is b? It is experimentally observed that the value of b can be found with the help of this relation. B is equal to ze square cot theta by 2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon 2 m u square. So for large angle, value of b cot theta by 2 is large, because if you see that the angle and impact parameter are directly proportional to each other. So for large value of b, cot theta by 2 is large, and theta, the scattering angle, is small. That is, alpha particle traveling far away from the nucleus suffer a small deflection. And for a small value of b, cot theta by 2 is also small, and theta, the scattering angle, is large. That is, alpha particle traveling close to the nucleus suffers large deflection. Third, for b is equal to 0, means the particle is very close to the nucleus or directly moving towards the nucleus. So b is equal to 0, that is, alpha particle directed towards the center of nucleus, and cot theta by 2 in this case is 0, or we can say theta by 2 is equal to 90, or we can say theta is equal to 180 degree. The alpha particle retrace their path when theta is 180 degree. So this is the impact parameter. It was also the part of the previous chapter atom. We are just revising this. Next, what is the composition of nucleus? Since nucleus is the part of the atom, it is a very smaller part of the atom and it was discovered by Rutherford. So what is the composition of nucleus? Every atomic nucleus except that of hydrogen has two types of particle, proton and neutron. The nucleus of hydrogen contain only one proton, and the proton is a fundamental particle with a positive charge 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and mass of the proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. That is 1836 times heavier than electron. Means proton is heavier than electron, and neutron is also the fundamental particle with no charge, and mass is 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, and it is 1840 times heavier than of electron. So Neutron was the particle discovered by Chadwick, and atomic number of the atom is denoted by Z. So number of proton in a nucleus of an atom is called atomic number. What is the number of proton in the nucleus? That is the same as atomic number. Atomic mass number denoted by capital A. The sum of the number of proton and neutron in a nucleus of an atom is called atomic mass number, denoted by A, and it is equal to Z plus N. What is N? N is number of neutron, Z is number of proton, and A is atomic mass number. Now what is atomic mass unit? It is also known as AMU. Since the mass of atom is very small, so compared to a kilogram, for example, the mass of carbon atom, carbon 12, is 1.992647 into 10 to the power minus 26 kilogram. This figure is given in your NCERT, so you can see from the NCERT on the page number 438. And since kilogram is not a very convenient unit to measure such small quantities, therefore different mass unit is used for expressing atomic masses, and this unit is atomic mass unit denoted by small u, and it is written AMU. What is atomic mass unit? Atomic mass unit is 1/12th of mass of one carbon of atom. So 1 AMU is equal to 1/12 into 12 upon 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Everyone knows, and I think if you all also know, that this is a Avogadro number, 6.023 10 to the power 23. While solving, you will get the value of 1 AMU. It is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. This is the value of one atomic mass unit. It is given on the page number 439 of your NCERT. Equation number 13.1 in your book, the value is given 1.660539 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, and it is equal to 1 unit. So what the atomic masses of various elements expressed in atomic mass unit are close to being integral multiple of the mass of a hydrogen atom, and there are, however, many striking exceptions to this rule. Suppose the atomic mass of chlorine is 35.46 unit, means it is not a integral, it is in a decimal form also, 35.46 unit. And I think in the chemistry it was told you that the chlorine has isotope of chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. So by this you can find the value of chlorine, atomic mass of chlorine 35.46. And for your help, I am giving you the hint that you can get it on the page number 439 of your NCERT. Now what is the size of nucleus? Nucleus does not have a sharp or well defined boundary. However, the radius of nucleus can be given by r is equal to r naught a to the power 1 by 3, where r naught is equal to 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter is a constant which is same for all nuclei, and a is the mass number of the nucleus. So by seeing this equation, since r naught is constant, so the radius of nucleus or size of nucleus is proportional to atomic mass or mass number of the nucleus. Size of nucleus you can see from your NCERT page number 441, and the equation number 13.5, it is given r is equal to r naught a to the power 1 by 3, and the value of r naught is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. It is minus 15 meter, and this means that the volume of nucleus, which is proportional to r cube, is proportional to a. So if you see, the radius of nucleus range from 1 fermimeter to 10 fermimeter, and the nuclear volume is V is equal to 4/3 pi r cube, or we can say pi r 4/3 pi r naught cube a. That is, the volume of nucleus is proportional to mass number, and nuclear density is mass of nucleus. You can find m is equal to A into 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. The nuclear volume 4 by 3 pi r cube. You put the value here and you will get the volume, and from volume you will get the nuclear density 2.29 into 10 power 17 kilogram per meter cube. This all you will get on the page number 441. I am giving you the page number, I am giving you the hint, I am telling you the page number just to read from there. You will get an idea what is the size of nucleus, what is the values of to find the radius of the nucleus. So this is the atomic size or radius of nucleus, and the nuclear density does not depend upon mass number, so all the nuclei possess nearly the same density. The nuclear density has extremely large value. Such high densities are found in white dwarf stars which contain mainly nuclear matter. And the third is nuclear density is not uniform throughout the nucleus. It has maximum value at the center and decreases gradually as we move away from the center of nucleus. And the fourth one is the nuclear radius is the distance from the center of nucleus at which the density of nuclear matter decreases to 1/2 of its maximum value at the center. Now, what is the mass energy relation? According to Newton's second law of motion, force acting on a body is defined as the rate of change of momentum. So F is equal to d by dt, or in the place of momentum we are using mv, is equal to, you simplify this, m dv by dt plus v dm by dt. If the force F displaces the body by distance dx, the energy increases, that is dk is equal to f dx, means work done. You put the value of F here, m dv by dt dx plus v dm by dt dx. Solve this relation and you will get dk is equal to mv dv plus v square dm. According to Einstein relation of relativistic mass, m is equal to m naught upon 1 minus v square upon c square, where m naught is a rest mass. Squaring both sides and manipulating it, m square c square minus m square v square is equal to m naught square c square. Differentiate with m naught and c as a constant, so we will get the value c square dm is equal to mv dv plus v square dm. And from equation number 1 and 2, you solve this value, you find the relation, and we are getting the total energy of body is mc square, that is E is equal to mc square, and this is the Einstein mass energy equivalent relation. So this is the mass energy relation between the mass and velocity. We are going to calculate this energy. This is given by Einstein. E is equal to mc square, important relation. It shows that the body have mass, it has energy. So till this, here we are going to close this discussion and the chapter. Revise from your NCERT. See the concept from there. I told you the page number and also the points from where you are going to see the content. If you have any problem, then call me on my number or send message on the group. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.